Hello all. Today we'll be doing heating effects of electric current. This is the part of chapter electricity of NCERT class 10th. Now, what is heating effect? We all know that whenever electrons move in a circuit, when it is placed across, when a conductor is placed across certain at a potential difference, source of potential difference, then the free electrons start moving inside it and they constitute electric current. They conduct electric current as it is like electrons when they are released from the source of potential difference and they pass through it and it goes on another side. Now, due to this collisions, certain collisions between electrons, the speed get reduced. So, what happens is due to this, the velocity is reduced and the energy is converted into the heating effect. Now, due to this heating effect, the resistance of the conductor increases, which is a total hindrance for conduction of electron. Got it? So, let's start with the chapter, that is heating effect of electric current. I'll get back to you for this. Sorry for the interruption. So, let's start with the topic. Now, we need to derive certain formula for doing certain calculations or to find the magnitude of electric current or the energy dissipated. So, what happens is, we know that potential difference is work done in moving unit charge. So, potential difference is work done upon charge transferred. Got it? We denote it by V and this is denoted by W upon Q. Here in this case I can also write W is equal to VQ, which becomes equation 1. Got it? Now, we also know that how to find magnitude of electric current, which says that electric current is charge transferred per unit time. Alright. So, we will say it like current is equal to charge upon time, or I is equal to Q by T, or Q is equal to IT. This becomes equation 2. Got it? Now, what I can do is, I can simply put the value of Q from equation 2 into equation 1. So, let's see what has happened. If I start writing W is equal to VQ or W is equal to V, instead of Q I can write IT. So, the formula for the work done becomes VIT, that is potential difference multiplied by current multiplied the total time during which current flew. Got it? Now, we all know that all that work done is also get transferred in form of heat or any other energy. So, instead of work, I can also write energy or heat or is equal to VIT, one and the same thing. So, student, this is the master formula for any kind of heat dissipated or work done or energy to be calculated. But in a given question, there can be certain more things through which we can derive the things. I'll show you to that. We know that from Ohm's law, what does Ohm law say? That V is equal to IR. Clear? I can put this equation V is equal to IR here in VIT. So the formula of work done or energy or heat will be V, instead of V I'll put IR into IT. So it becomes H is equal to I square RT. Is it clear? So this is the another formula. Students, this is also known as Joule's heating effect. Clear? Now, what will happen is, if the question is asked that what are the factors on which Joule's heating effect depends, so what will you write? We can say that heat produced is directly proportional to the square of current resistance and time. Is it clear? I hope it's visible. If not, I'll write it here. Wait. See, it is directly proportional to the average square of the current, resistance and time for which current passed. Is it clear? This is the most common question asked in board exams of class 10. Please note it down till here. Now, we can derive one more thing from out of it. See, look here. We know that W is equal to VIT. From Ohm's law, V is equal to IR or I is equal to V upon R. Now here what I can do is, I can substitute the value of I. So it becomes W is equal to V upon R into T, and that is W is equal to V square upon R into T. Here it is the another formula for work done or heat or anything. Now, since in parallel combinations we know that potential difference is same, so this formula is used in parallel combinations, while this is used in series combinations. Am I clear? Got it? So now we have three formulas of work done or heat dissipated or energy consumed, and depending on the given things in a question, we can easily find how to use it. Got it? Now, this was about the work done or heat produced. Students, this heat produced is used in many of the electric appliances for the heating instruments. Like, if I want to iron my clothes, then the filament inside will be got heated by this principle only. That is Joule's law of heating. Got it? If I need to warm up the water in geyser, or if there is an air conditioner which is providing the heat over there, or any of the things which works on the phenomena of heating effect. So this conversion of electrical energy into heating effect is given by Joule's law of heating. And there are many principles, it is the principle of many equipments in electrical industry. Got it? With this, I come on to the power of the next section, that is power consumed. Clear? Let me start with it. Next topic is power or electric power. Now, what is electric power? Let's see. It is defined as amount of work done or I can say amount of electric work done per unit time. Electric work done per unit time. So, what happens here is the formula will become work done upon time, or power is equal to W upon T. Now, I can derive many more formulas out of it. How? We know that by using from Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR. Got it? So, we know that P can be VIT upon T. So, this TT gets cancelled and another formula over here is P is equal to VI. That is power is equal to V into I. Now, by putting the values from Ohm's law, I find that if V is equal to IR, then P is equal to VI, that is I R into I. The answer becomes I square R. And this is used in series, of course. Got it? Now, in here again, if I am writing P is equal to VI and P is equal to, that is V into V upon R, because I is equal to V upon R. Again from Ohm's law, it becomes V square upon R. So, it will be used in parallel. Is it clear? So, this is all about the power. Got it? Now, what is the unit of the power? Let's discuss that first. See this side. Unit of power. The SI unit of power is watt. Clear? Now, suppose there is a question, they say define 1 watt. Now, how will you answer it? See, we'll write it P is equal to W upon T. Instead of power, I'll write watt is equal to joules per second. Got it? And if I start writing 1 over here, then it becomes when 1 joule of work is done in 1 second, then power consumed is 1 watt. Is it clear? Got it? Now, there are certain higher units of power. And what are they? It is kilowatt. That is 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watts. 1 horsepower, that is HP, which is 746 watts, and 1 megawatt, that is MW, which is 10 raised to power 6 watts. So depending on the question, again I'll say units are used. Please note it down till here. So this is how we calculate the electric power anytime. Okay. Now let's see what is the relation between joule and the commercial unit of power. So as we all know, the electric bill which we get every month in our households, its unit is counted as 1 unit. Now, what is this 1 unit? I'll explain. It is commercial unit of energy. Okay. So I'll explain you how things are derived. We know that energy is equal to power upon time. Sorry, it's power is equal to energy upon time, or E is equal to P into T. So by simply putting the units of power and time, we can find it. Okay. Or instead of what, I can write joules per second. So energy unit is joules, which is the actual unit of energy. So it has been proven here only. Got it? Now for commercial unit of energy, what we use is kilowatt hour. It is kilowatt hour. So how to calculate it? 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1000 watts multiplied by 1 hour. Got it? Now 1 kilowatt hour will be equal to 1000 joules per second into 60 into 60 seconds. How did it come? We know that in 1 hour there is 60 minutes and in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. So I'll simply multiply it by 60 and 60. So the second gets cancelled here. Got it? And 1 kilowatt hour will be equal to 1000 multiplied by 3600 or 6 joules. Now students, this is the commercial unit of energy. It's always done in this, it's written like this also, 1 unit or 1 BOTU. What is BOTU? It is Board of Trade Unit. So it is this unit in which we get our electric bills. Got it? In future or in further classes, I'll be telling you about the numericals, how to calculate the electric bill, monthly bill by using certain appliances. Got it? For today, I'll be doing 3 more questions just to make you understand these topics. Please note it down here. So, let's start with the questions now. Look at here, the first question now. An electric iron has rating of 750 watts and 220 volts. Calculate the current and the resistance. Now, for this question, that is question answer 1, we'll do in this way that we'll write the given first. So, what are the given things? Power is given 750 watts, V is given 220 volts. Got it? Now what we need to find is total current and R, resistance. Got it? So we know that we can find out the power by, to find out the current by P is equal to VI or I is equal to P upon V. Value of P is 750 upon 220. When we cancel out each other, the answer comes out to be 3.4 ampere. We will solve it. Got it? Now, for finding out the resistance, we know that V is equal to IR or R is equal to V upon I. So, 220 upon, I can write in this way also, like instead of I can write 750 into 220. And in this case, the answer becomes 64.7 ohms. Is it clear? Either you can do in this way, like by writing 3.4 here and dividing again, the answer will be the same only. So what we need to look at is that we should write the given first and then we need to apply the formula according to the given things. Writing given helps you to find what has been asked, because this is the main problem with students, that they are scared of numericals. Got it? Now let's start with another question. Two resistors 4 and 6 are connected across 6-volt battery of negligible resistance. Calculate the power supplied and power dissipated. Now they are connected in parallel. If there is nothing given, that means they are connected in parallel. So let me find out first the total resistance. So the total resistance will be 1 upon 4 plus 1 upon 6, and the LCM will be 12. So 3 plus 2, that is 5 upon 12, and the answer will be 12 upon 5 ohm. Is it clear? Now what he has been asking is power supply. So we know that P is equal to V square upon R. And what is V? It is 6 into 6 upon 12 into 5, because there is the resistance over there. So the answer in this case will be 5 upon 12, that is 15 watts. So total power consumed will be 15 watts over here. Now what he has asked is power dissipated in each resistor also. So that can be easily calculated by simply putting it again, that is P1 V square upon R. What is V? It is 6 into 6 upon, and what is R here? 4. So the answer will be 36 upon 4, that is 9 watts. Am I clear? And for P2, it will be 36 upon, what is that? 6. So it is 6 watts. You can check the answer simply by checking that 9 plus 6 is 14, which is actually the total, power dissipated. Please note it down till here. With this, I come on the last question of the day. Which has a higher resistance, 50 watt 220 volt or 25 volt 220 volt lamp. So for this we need to calculate in this way. The basic formula we will be using is V square upon R. Got it? Now case 1, when power is 50 watt. So the formula becomes R is equal to V square upon P. That is 220 into 220 divided by 50. Case 2, R2 will be V square upon P2. That is 220 into 220 upon 25. Now students, you can solve it right here, or we can do one thing, because we need to find the ratio also, because it has simply asked to calculate the ratio, nothing else. Okay, and by looking here, easily I can find that if the denominator value is more, then the resistance will be less, then the answer will be less. So the R2 will be more than R1 because here denominator is less. Got it? So I'll just do it in this way. R2 by R1, that is 220 into 220 divided by 25 multiplied by 50 upon 220 into 220. All this gets cancelled out and the answer comes out to be 2. So R2 is 2 times of R1. Hence easily it can be seen that the resistance with 25 watt is more. Reason being, we have solved it as it is here only. Got it? So students, for today we will do this much only. We will be coming up with more and more questions in coming up time. Till then, please go through the theory properly, and only one thing I would request about is that do not get scared of numericals. Many a time students just leave those questions, they just think we'll do the theory part only, or else it will be only of 3 marks or 2 marks. But let me tell you, numericals help you to score full out of full or 100% marks. So please do not get scared of it. I'll be coming up with more lectures on it and more questions. Till then, happy learning. God bless you.